A new wave of revelations about Squid Game Season 3 just dropped. And if you thought Season 2 was intense, what's coming next might completely redefine everything we thought we knew. Before we dive into the poster that holds key clues about how the fourth game will unfold, let's talk about what the creator is planning for the finale. According to recent statements, the vision for Season 3 has shifted. This time, it's not just about survival, it's about confronting the rawest parts of human nature. The games are now designed to test not only physical endurance, but also the human spirit. How far someone will go to preserve their sense of humanity when everything around them demands the opposite. That's the core of Season 3. How we stay human in a world built to erase that very thing. Hwang Dong-hyuk explained that in Season 1, the focus was on intense competition within a hyper-capitalist society. For Season 2, he wanted to explore Gi-hun breaking the game's rules and sparking a rebellion, a revolt that ultimately ends in failure. Now, for the final season, the theme shifts again. It's about preserving humanity in the face of relentless competition and moral decay. The central question is no longer who will win, but rather who will still be human by the end. Another major revelation is that Gi-hun will undergo the most dramatic character transformation. So the big question is, will he still be the Gi-hun we knew? By the end of Season 2, Gi-hun was already a changed man. The once hopeful, silly character who always smiled has become dark, somber, and emotionally worn down. He watched his best friends die. He returned home only to find that his mother had passed away and his daughter had moved to the US with her mother. The only thing keeping him going was his mission to stop the games. But after his failed attempt, we have to wonder, has he lost all hope? Is he now willing to give up on life entirely? But Gi-hun isn't the only one undergoing a transformation. Hwang Dong-hyuk also revealed that Myung-hee will go through a major character arc, and it might all be tied to the fate of Jun-hee's baby. Though the creator didn't confirm whether the baby will be born inside or outside the games, he did say the child would be central to the story, and that the baby would ultimately decide the fate of everyone inside the game. This leads to a heartbreaking theory. What if the baby dies? Such a tragedy could spark something inside Myung-hee, changing him forever. It might even push him down a darker path, turning him into a villain. He could end up betraying Jun-hee, especially if her decision to join the games or keep the baby was against what they had agreed on. Hwang mentioning player 333 specifically is unusual. That tells me he'll play a crucial role in the season finale, possibly even making it to the final round. I wouldn't be surprised if he becomes one of the last standing, or even the ultimate winner. No matter what happens, whether the baby is born or not, we now have confirmation that this child will be the decisive factor in ending the Squid Game once and for all. Now let's move on to the poster. The biggest reveal about the fourth game is that the maze is multi-level. Netflix released 2 official posters, one showing the maze with an upper floor, and another showing that it has a basement. That means this game will be played on a 3-level playground. It's essentially a twisted game of cat and mouse, which perfectly fits the hunter and prey theme we previously theorized based on the teaser. Another interesting detail, all the doors in the maze are blue. I believe this signifies that only the blue players will receive keys. The red players, possibly the hunters, won't have access to them. The blue players would use these keys to unlock the labyrinth doors. But here's the fascinating part. These doors can only be opened from the inside. If you zoom in on one of the doors from the outside, you'll notice the keyhole is sealed. But on an open door, that seal is missing. This tells us that the doors are designed to be accessed only from within the rooms themselves. I think this detail connects directly to the scene where the shaman lady is peering through a keyhole. Maybe player 44 is trying to figure out whether the door leads deeper into the maze, or if it's actually the exit. And remember that teaser shot of a player drawing an arrow on the wall using blood? I believe that player is the shaman lady. After discovering the correct door, she likely marked a path to help guide her team. Another big clue lies in the design of each room. Every room seems to have a different visual theme. Let me know in the comments what you think these themes might represent. Personally, I believe they serve as coded hints to help blue players navigate the maze and find the right exit. Behind the shaman lady, for instance, there's a door and what looks like a brick wall. That brick pattern looks very similar to the texture of the maze itself. Could this be the final safe room, with the mountainous design around it acting as a clue for orientation? Then there's the room behind Hyunjun. It looks like it's covered in seaweed. If you compare that to a teaser shot where Minsu is angrily preparing to fight, the wall behind him matches this design. Maybe that's a clue that these two characters end up in the same room, and only one of them can make it out alive. Now let's talk about the strangest part. The doors high up on the upper floors with no visible way to reach them. Hwang Dong-hyuk mentioned in an interview that Season 3 would introduce games designed to evoke real fear, particularly with height. That's probably what these high-up doors are about. Players may be forced to face their fear of falling or be pushed to their deaths. I can almost guarantee someone is going to fall trying to reach one of those doors. Also, Netflix just released a new video where Hwang Dong-hyuk, Gi-hoon, and In-ho responded to the most popular fan theories. The two most important ones were officially debunked. In-ho is not Il-nam's son. The theory stemmed from a shared dislike of plain milk, but Hwang confirmed there's no connection. The drawings on the dorm walls do not foreshadow the games. The director said he would never reuse motifs from earlier seasons, so we can rule out games like human chess or monkey bars for Season 3. So, what do you think is going to happen in Squid Game Season 3? Drop your theories in the comments. I'll be reading them all.